Hi guys, welcome to the bag making class. I'm going to first be showing you materials that you use to work. So that is the bag rope. This is the rope that you use. You can use a ribbon if you want that, scissors, a puncher. There's this thing I got from my scoring board. So this is what it is. I don't know the name exactly, right? But you can use it in place of a squeegee. Same as the card, the expired card, or any card that is no more in use as a squeegee. My cutter knife and the cutter knife refill, and then the brush that you use to take the Aboki gum. That is my ribbon, the Aboki gum, and the brush I've been using before now. Well, you can see my pencil and my paper. Now we have different types of papers. We have art card, we have FBB, we have glossy card, we have brown paper. There's a lot, but for this video I'm going to be using the glossy card, okay? And I think I'll be going with the red because it's Valentine's season. So now there are different papers have different lengths, okay? So to achieve a bigger bag you might need a bigger paper. Well, at the same time you can double it. As you learn, you understand how to work with bigger sizes, okay? So we're going to be using this medium size box. A small bag would be, that small, a little smaller than this. But yeah, this is a medium sized bag. And we're going to be using the measurements to make our own new bag. Okay, so the length of this paper is okay to make this size of box, this size of bag. At any point in this video, if I say box, please just know I mean bag. Okay, so now this is the width of the bag, that's the height of the bag, and the width, the height, and then the length. So the length is that's the length. So when working with a bag, we have three measurements: the width, the height, and then the length. Okay, so when measuring for the bag, the first thing you're going to be measuring is the width after you have measured 0.5 inch that you fold in. So for this bag, the width is 4 inches. So 4 inches is what we'll be working with. The height is about 12.5 inches. So we'll be working with 12.5 inches, and then the length is 7.5 inches. So these are the dimensions we'll be working with. I wrote it down for you so that you can see and maybe also write it down somewhere. Now, before you start measuring all those dimensions, you'd have to measure a 0.5 inch into the paper. This is where you fold so that you can put your Aboki gum and then gum the other end of the glossy card. I'm using glossy card. You can be using brown paper or FBB or art card and the rest. Okay, so we're going to first measure 0.5. So that's my 0.5. So make sure that you're measuring 0.5 on your paper. Now, I don't usually use pencils to work because I don't want the inside of my art card or my paper or my bag to be dirty. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to be working with my pencils so that you understand what I am doing. Alright, so you just mark a point. You can just try to make a dot at the point where it's 0.5. Okay, and then I'm going to place my ruler on it and then go in with my squeegee prototype, right? My excuse of a squeegee. All these are just to help me make lines. You don't want to use your pencils to do that or your pen, so your bag doesn't look like it has different lines inside. So now the expired card just helps me to draw, to score the paper. Now the reason why you don't want to use cutter knife is because cutter knife will cut the paper or break the paper. Okay, so after making that line and properly folding it, you would then start your measurement. So the idea of the measurement is width, length, length. So there are 4 times you do measurements. Width, which is 4. Can you remember that our width is 4? And then the length is 7.5. So after I've drawn my 4, I will use my scorecard thing to draw a line, and then you fold. So the idea is that scorecard, board thing, or squeegee, or used ATM card that has expired, is that it makes a line for you. So our next measurement is 7.5. If you remember, the length is 7.5 inches. So that's what you're going to be measuring next after your 4. Now, after each measurement, draw the line with your squeegee so that you're not confused. Okay, and then when you do that, you just fold. The line made will make it so easy to fold. Okay, now after the width, the length, we go back again to the width, which is 4 inches. And after you measure 4 inches, so you then draw your line again and then measure 7.5 inches. So if, for example, you're working with a bag that is bigger, you're going to just make the width bigger, or if you're keeping the width, you can just make the length bigger. So your bag can be 10 inches wide, 10 inches long, and 4 inches wide. You understand? So after the 4 measurement, the third measurement, you go in with the fourth, which is 7.5. Remember, like I said, the formula is after 0.5, it is width, length, and that's all. That's all basically. There are two methods to making a bag that I know, and this is the first, but I have recorded a second video for you to properly understand. So after this, you can watch that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with my Aboki gum, and you know the way Aboki gum works. After you put it, you allow it to dry just for a little bit, and then you gum whatever you're gumming. So I put my Aboki gum, and then I waited a bit, and then when it dried, I added the last part, which is the 7.5, the ending, to it. Okay, I added 7.5 part, and then when you gum it, you see that it's beginning to look like a bag, like it begins to form that shape. So when you gum it right, I sometimes go in with my squeegee just to make sure that the thing is perfectly laid and it's perfectly, glued together, because you don't want a case where you're trying to fold and then the thing starts opening. I hope you understand what I mean. So just go in with your squeegee just like I did. Now, there are 2 ways you can fold. You can either measure or just join the 2 ends together. You understand what I mean by joining 2 ends together. Now, they will both give the same results, but measuring gives it a neater, straighter look. So now you're just going to do like I did in this video. Join the 2 sides together so that it's equal, and then you fold the line that comes out of that. Okay, but I would advise that you measure, because that side is 4, so if it's divided into 2, that's just 2. So you just measure 2 like I'm doing now. Just place your ruler at that end and measure 2 at the part that is 4, the width that is 4, measure 2, and then carefully use your scoring card or your squeegee to make a line. Now you're going to use that line to fold the bag. You see that this is neater and easier. Well, you can choose whatever method that works for you. So at this point, it's really beginning to look like a bag, right? And if you have gotten to this point, thumbs up to you, well done. Okay, so the next part is the bottom that is going to be folded in. You know, bags have different heights, and remember that the width is 4, so that determines the length for the under. Now the under is going to be 4.5. The 5 inch is to the 0.5 inch rather is to make it foldable, so properly fold, long enough to fold. So now you see me making marks with my scoring card, and then that's 4.5. Remember, because the width is 4, you're going to make it 4.5. If the width was 6, it's going to be 6.5 as I works. So this is the point where you'd fold in for the under of the bag. I don't know if you get what I am saying, but I hope you do, because there's a video here that you can watch to guide you. So just fold that line that you have made, and then for me, I like to open up the bag, like open it up and then fold carefully. You know, bags are all about folding, so you're going to be doing a lot of folding. Now I need you to pay attention to how I am folding. Now there's a line on the red part and there's a line on the white part. You're going to make sure it aligns, okay? That line must align with the second line that I'm pointing at. Alright, these two lines must align. If not, your bag is going to have a weird shape. Okay, so you can see me doing the same thing for the second one. Alright, those lines must align. And then you can go in with your squeegee, your expired card, whatever you're using to properly form a flat line. Now, the lines on top will guide you. There are lines there, can you see that? There are lines up as well. Those are what will guide you to fold. So that's why it's important that at all the times you saw me folding, you also fold your paper. Now, when you fold, you notice that those other top and bottom lines align with the lines of your width. Now, you're going to go in with your Aboki gum and place it at those points where I am placing mine. Now you can choose to either put the Aboki gum at the top. Please do not put Aboki gum at that white place, except at one of the tops, either this side I'm putting or the other side, so that when you place them down, it permanently seals it. Alright, so you can go in with your squeegee to make sure that at least the Aboki gum is properly laid, and then the other one as well. So you understand the reason why it's important that there's a little Aboki gum at the top of one of the leaves. Okay, now so you go in to fold. You fold the end. You fold just this place again. The reason is that there's supposed to be a line there to guide you. So you just fold as I am doing right now in the video. Even if you don't really understand everything I am saying, just do as you see. I believe that it's going to give you a very, very good understanding as you do. Right, so now we have like a 90% made bag. So now for the height of the bag, I usually don't like my bags too high. It gives it like a weird, look. So you can just go in to reduce the height. Remember that the height of our bag is 12.5. So I'm just going to measure 12.5 on my ruler. If you know, I hope you're seeing the way I, place the ruler and how I turned the bag to the other side. Now, after measuring 12.5, I used my scoring card to make a line. The reason why I did not go straight to cutting is because I want to add 1 inch that will fold into the box. Oh my bad, the bag. So then after measuring 1 inch, I then cut. So in total, you're measuring 13.5 inches. Now, but 1 inch out of the 13.5 inches is what you're going to fold into like the bag. You understand what I mean by fold into the bag as we move on? Do you understand? So At this point, your bag is basically made. What's remaining is to punch and place your bag rope or ribbons into the holes that you have punched. Now, I don't use a particular measurement for where my punches should be or where my punches should be, because, for example, if you're making 100 bags, you won't be able to do that. So I just try to be as realistic as possible. Now, what I do is that I make sure that my puncher sits up until the end. I place it and make sure it sits to the end and then make a punch. It's going to be the same with the front and the back. I punch the two sides together, so that way it is accurate. Now I go to the next side and then push my puncher to the bottom and then form the hole. Now you notice that it doesn't look inaccurate, or it doesn't look different. And so I'm going to be teaching you how to make a bow, a cute bow, to make this bag look even cuter than it already is. Now, for the bow, I usually try to measure how much I need first. So I just measure a length, just put it around my fingers and see how much I would need. And then after that, I go in to make the bow. Now you're going to be putting the ribbon on your on your index finger, then on your thumb, then on your index again, on top, and then let it come under, and you go in to tie. If you're confused, just watch this part like 3 more times and you'll get it. Okay, so after doing that, I like to have this, V-cut. So you put the remaining part of the ribbons together and then cut a V shape, and you have that very cute looking bag. I hope you enjoyed watching. Bye.